Welcome to Lawn Tips with Lou.
Hi, I've been a little busy over the last few weeks, so I'm going to try to squeeze in a couple of video segments that I would have liked to have gotten out a little earlier. One segment is on changing the oil in your lawnmower, and then a second segment is on scalping the lawn. And then I'm going to throw in a little third segment, which is a quick little update on the crepe myrtles. I had trimmed the crepe myrtles in January, and they're already leafing out. So I just wanted to give you a quick update on that. As we prepare for a new mowing season, it's time to change the oil on your lawnmower. One of the things that you want to do when changing the oil is make sure you run the engine for a few minutes, because the motor's been sitting idle for 2-3 months now, and any of the particles that are in the oil have settled to the bottom. You want to get those particles mixed in with the oil so that when you drain the oil out of the engine, any particles that have settled in the bottom have mixed with the oil so they come out when you drain the oil. A product that I've used for the last few years in changing the oil on my mower is a product made by Liquivac. It basically creates a vacuum and sucks the oil out of the small engine. I think you can see online videos of people doing this similarly with a shop vac, because I've had this one for, I'm going to say, about 8 years. Don't remember exactly where I bought it, but I looked online a few days ago, and I see that you can still buy this product online. But if you go into your Home Depot, you'll find that they have a similar product that they keep on the shelf, and also at Home Depot online, Briggs & Stratton makes a similar oil changing vacuum pump, where you just simply put a tube through where you fill the oil, and you just simply suck the oil out of the engine. Now, I've run my engine now for about 5 minutes, so it's nice and warm, should come out fairly easily, and any particles that may have settled at the bottom of the engine should have worked their way into the oil, so that any particulates will come out with the warm oil. Okay, the Liquivac product basically consists of 2 parts. You've got your pump in the container. It's got a little nozzle that you screw right on here. And the tubing, which simply you insert one end in here, and we'll push the other one down the dipstick tube to the bottom of the engine. And then we will create some vacuum pressure by simply loosening this and then pumping it, and the oil comes right out of the engine. All right, and it's mostly drained already, but I'm just going to continue to pump as much oil out of it as I can get before putting the new oil in. That's probably about as much as I'm going to get out of there. So just pull this out. And as you can see, it just takes a few seconds to empty the old oil out of the engine. Okay, the engine specifications call for using a 30 weight oil, and this particular engine takes 0.6 liters or 20 ounces of oil. So I'm just going to add the oil at this point. Okay, I've got the new oil in the engine, and it looks like it's at the right level. I'm going to start it up, let it run for about a minute, and then check the oil level one more time just to make sure that I've got it at the right level. Okay, I have shut the engine off and I've let it sit for about a minute just to let the oil settle down. And now I'll check the oil level one more time just to make sure we have the right amount of new oil in it. Okay, looks like we are good to go. And while I'm on it, working on the mower today, I'm going to go ahead and lubricate the wheels so that everything is in good running condition for the mowing season. Okay, I've finished lubricating the wheels on my rotary mower, and it's ready to go for the spring. While I'm in the process of lubricating wheels, I'm going to go ahead and lubricate the front wheels here on my reel mower as well. You've got sealed bearings on the rear wheels, so there's not a lot I need to do on that, but I do need to apply a little grease on the front wheels on the reel mower. Okay, so I've finished lubricating the wheels on the mowers. I had sharpened the blades over the winter, and you can refer back to a couple of December videos that I put out, one for sharpening the blades on the rotary mower and another one for sharpening the blades, the backlapping process for the reel mower. We're ready to go for the spring mowing, and one of the things I had done in the fall also, I cleaned out the air filter and everything when I cleaned out cleaned off the mower for the season before putting it away for the winter. But we're going to be scalping the grass in a couple of weeks, and scalping is a very dirty, dusty process. When I'm done with scalping, one of the things that I know that I'm going to do is I'll clean the air filter again because it gets a lot of dirt picked up from the scalping process. For those of you who've done it before, you know what a dusty process that is. If you haven't done it before, it's a regular part of the spring startup process is scalping down the Bermuda, getting it to a very short level and getting rid of all the dormant grass so that the new grass can come in. It is part of the process that you want to do every year. Is just make sure you've got fresh oil in your engine. Make sure your wheels are adequately lubricated, and you'll be ready to go. I scalped my lawn on March 10th, which was a few days earlier than I had planned. We had several days of rain forecast, which would have pushed my planned scalping later into the season than what I wanted. As it turned out, we had 11 consecutive days of rain after I scalped the lawn. When I scalp my Bermuda grass, I do it in a two-stage process. Rather than bagging the grass as I scalp it, the first stage is to use the side discharge as I scalp the lawn. Scalping the lawn puts a lot of strain on the mower, and bagging the clippings while scalping compounds the stress on the mower. I like to mow with the side discharge first, then follow up with mowing the lawn a second time with the bagging attachment. Scalping using this two-stage process allows me to do the low cut fairly quickly, and after the lawn has been cut, I can go back over it a second time where the mower can use its full power to vacuum the clippings without the engine bogging down from the actual grass cutting. As I mentioned earlier, scalping the lawn is a very dusty job. As you can see, I have safety glasses and a mask to keep the dust out of my eyes and my nose. If I don't do this to protect myself, my past experience from prior years has left me with sinus congestion for several days after scalping. Not only can the dust be a problem for you, but it also affects your mower. I recommend you take the time to clean the air filter on your mower after you finish scalping. I also plan to resharpen the mower blade after scalping so that it's as sharp as possible for mowing the new growth on the grass during the mowing season. In my last video where I talked about reading the label carefully before selecting the right fertilizer for your lawn, I had mentioned that I was going to wait until I had mowed my lawn twice before applying the Bayer 3-in-1 that I like to use on my lawn each spring. But because the forecast called for several days of rain after the day I scalped my lawn, I decided to go ahead and get the fertilizer, weed killer, and pre-emergent on the lawn while I had the opportunity. With the forecast number of days of rain, if I had waited, it would be putting me later into March than I wanted to get the pre-emergent onto the lawn. The 10-day forecast that I had printed on the 13th of March showed that rain was expected every day through March 20th. We actually had rain every day from March 13th through March 23rd, an 11 consecutive day period with rain. These pictures show the lawn just 3 days after scalping. With the help of the rain, the grass has already begun to green up. I had pruned my crepe myrtles in January. Over the past few days, the crepe myrtles have begun to leaf out and have put on new growth for the season. I'll give you another update later in the spring as they begin to bloom for the summer. Thanks for watching Lawn Tips with Lou, and I'll see you next time.